Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
Here we go.
A man who led the league in yards per carry last year, it's Khalil Herbert. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Fields. This will be caught downfield by Moore. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Chicago! DJ Moore. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and take it successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start here with Gaskin, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. This defense for the Bears, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. First carry now for Alexander Madison. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. You look at this Bears defense. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And Jefferson's going to have the Vikings first down as he'll get this up to midfield. Cousins now from the 50. That's complete to K.J. Osborne. He's into space past the 25. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Here's Madison running left. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. Now Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. K.J. Osborne. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. On second down, a run with Herbert. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The Bears at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Here's Fields. Throw left side complete. That's more. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Moore was a huge part of the deal the Chicago made with Carolina, giving up the #1 overall pick in the draft. Averaging over 1,000 yards a season his first 5 years of his career. A tremendous playmaker, and he makes another catch here.
Meanwhile, Fields slow there, hauled in by Claypool. He's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. You look at this defense for the Vikings. They're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. A play fake, now Fields to throw. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Herbert powering up the middle. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th.
A 29-yard attempt.
Santos' kick is up and through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another 1st down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield. Touchdown, Vikings. T.J. Hockenson, 41 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And that makes it 14-10.
Makes the score Vikings 14, Bears 10.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Play action. It's Fields. That pass complete to Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
A A give left side here for Herbert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Chase Claypool, 49 yards. And the Bears have retaken the lead. So, Charles, they had him double covered in the end zone. It still was not enough.
I wonder if they're thinking to themselves now, 2 didn't work. Do we go for 3 guys on him next time? Because he fought through all that extra attention, got himself into a great position where his quarterback felt confident enough to challenge the coverage and threw it his way. What a big-time play right there. Both by the quarterback trusting him and by him going up and getting him.
Touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. But right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on. Both sides moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction? The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
After being a stop, this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty much assaulted by the offense here in the first half. They got possession. Now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory.
Their own 10-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
He's going to look deep for more. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. 16 yards is the pickup there on a 1st down for Chicago.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. But that was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Back to the air. Fields on second down. Open man completes it to Claypool. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Again, Fields. Flushed out right. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on first and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. To throw is Fields. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now.
And this is taken in at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up the first and goal.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Here we go.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. Foreman is going backwards here. Well, they come in and drop him all the way back at the 4-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. From the gun, here's Fields. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Play action now. Cousins. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Completion here to Claypool. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 14 yards into Chicago, first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Here we go.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Fields. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Here's Fields. And it's caught. Touchdown, Bears. Khalil Herbert in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears will extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
Now the point after try for Santos. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And the half will begin with a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, Cousins. Pass complete to Addison. Now he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. Fourth down. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Here's Madison running on first down. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. If they're going to try to complete this comeback, they need more runs like that from him, because until that point, he's been virtually shut down.
And based on where they are right now in this game, you would expect the ball to be in the air.
Touchdown! Justin Jefferson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are back within a score. That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with a touchdown throw.
When you mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Now it's Fields. He's got the connection to Moore. Room here to run. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
A handoff for Herbert. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Another carry for Herbert on 2nd down. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. They'll go again with Herbert. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 53 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On first down, Fields. And that is incomplete here.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Fields. And that one's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game. But after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
Here's Fields. This is caught. Touchdown Bears. Tyler Scott with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bears add 6 to their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
The throw right sideline here is complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Here's a give to Madison running right. And he'll work down inside the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Second down, Cousins. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, the timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Chicago. Trace Claypool, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Bears are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Santos with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
We're going, let's go.
Cousins to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Well, kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Here's a give to Herbert. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Second down, they go back to Herbert.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now Fields. That's complete to his running back, Herbert.
And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Fields going to toss this quickly out wide, complete.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Herbert will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Throwing is Cousins. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Cousins from the gun on 3rd.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Tyreek Stevenson picks it off. And there.
Shot at the 32-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at the 32.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hand off right side for Herbert.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. The Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal.
He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, You never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Brings up second and 10 at the 21-yard line.
On the ready. Hurry, hurry.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Osborne. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Hall. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
69 yards on the ground for him so far. A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
On the ball.
Throwing here is Hall. He had a man open, but he missed him. It's incomplete. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go on.
Not the most creative and most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up second and 9 at the 39-yard line.
Herbert once more. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Touchdown at the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 5.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So for Chicago, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.